Check, 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 check. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Precenda.
You sound good over here, baby.
Precenda, what's happening?
What's up, baby?
What's going on?
I'm here for it.
You know what it is, right?
It's the Smile 69 Network.
Show.
That's what it is.
Let's not get it confused.
That's what it is, baby.
Because Smile 69 has a
All
network,
day, every
but
day.
this is the show. All right? All right? Look at this. She
It's
fixing the
sexy
head.
time.
She on live. She got people.
It's sexy time.
She got people. Close that door. If you in, you out, you out. What you doing? All right. 3161. All right, all right, all right.
We are talking about sexual initiation.
Sexual initiation.
Oh. So you guys might think this is a game.
Initiated.
Who should initiate? No, it's about who should initiate.
That's
the,
not even
the
a
action.
question. Who should initiate?
I'm interested
Who
in
am I
shit,
talking
both.
to? How about that?
Initiate.
Who am I talking to?
I'm so sorry.
That's right.
Let me properly introduce myself to people viewing right now. If you didn't know, you are now finding out that you are speaking with the Pussy Poets, darlings.
That is the sexiest.
You know, I
Instagram.
want to hear that again. Thank you. Hold on. Who are we talking to?
The Pussy Poets.
She made me want to do a
All right.
drop for
How
her.
can we follow you, reach you, contact you? Instagram, Facebook.
Just Instagram. Right now, it's Samara the Pussy Poet, SAMARA _ the dot PVSSY. V is for vagina. That poet.
All right, all right, all right. We have Precenda in the building, Precenda the Hitmaker. How can we find
Yes,
you?
I am, baby. That is PRECENDA _ INC. I am the hit maker.
And as I was told 10 times today, my daughter is in the building. You can follow her at...
S0L0 _ charm. You already know if you can't find me there, find me in niggas DMs. I'm telling him to go the fuck on back to you.
And now, the queen.
Happy Valentine's Day early gift from me.
The queen is in the building. Vanessa Smilez.
Wild style profile. What's going on, people? Hey.
Yes.
Profiling. All right, check you out.
I like that, right?
I'm bullshitting. I ain't shit. Don't worry about me out here. This is your girl Vanessa.
You know your hair looks really, really nice. You laced that today.
Coconut oil and stuff in it. Coconut oil and castor oil. Just for your UncleTone.
Come through with the growth treatment.
That's why you
sis.
smelling
Come
all,
through.
sexy and slippery.
I didn't have time for the cocoa butter and Vaseline. We talked about that. Shout out to Precenda getting people
I'm
together.
here for it.
Sexy
Okay,
and
so if you
slippery.
ladies do not know, we will give you guys a small tip. If you are worried about cracked heels or being dry in the winter,
What I had to tell them bitches the other day.
that you must put Vaseline on your feet.
They tried to give me one of those
But don't
bullshit
do it when
treatments.
you wear heels. Because
Put
when you
Vaseline
wear
on your feet,
heels-
then you
I
put
got the
socks
solution.
on,
I got the
and you go to
solution.
sleep.
Exactly.
So that
Because they tried, okay, I was on the phone with Vanessa, we were talking.
Yes.
And they tried to give me that bullshit, like, medicine treatment. And I blacked out. I was like, bitch, I don't need medicine. I'm supple and I'm silky. And I stay that way. Give me back my $5. She was on the phone the whole time.
Stop playing with me.
I was
Why
like,
you
bitch.
always batting up the people at the
Like,
nail
you know
salon
why?
and stuff?
Because I stay silky and I stay supple, and don't try to give me some bullshit I don't need.
Don't need it.
That's why they made grease. Black people, we've been doing this for generations. Grease them heels, put on cotton socks.
Yes.
Do whatever you need to do. When you're ready to go to bed, take them off. Supple heels all day, all the time. Never
Hello.
ashy.
Hello.
Never ashy dead of winter.
But just don't do
I had
it.
to ask her. I'm like, you getting a pedicure in the winter?
Always.
I gotta
you
step my
always-
game up.
You always.
I
Your
have to
fingernails
step
gotta
my
be on
game
point.
up.
I'm staying ready.
Your fingernails
have
gotta
to.
be on point in the
You
wintertime,
gotta
whatever, because
keep-
somebody gonna suck them bad boys in a snowstorm. You gotta be prepared,
Right.
baby.
Don't
Right.
you
I
know
should
you
be
the
shit in
flavor
socks.
for their hot chocolate?
Ooh, come through with it with the poetic words.
Toesies,
The
baby.
flavor for
Toesies
they
on the
hot
Toesies.
I said, I'm your Starbucks toasted white mocha
Yeah, also-
with the crusty little thing on cranberry dried on top with the whipped cream. It's me. It's
Hey.
me.
And
It's
also,
me.
I'm your topping.
to be honest, I do this shit for me. I like me.
like, fuck these niggas.
I like looking at me.
Love you. Heard you.
Yes.
Say, love you.
I
do it for
like looking at
yourself.
me.
Hey.
When I get in bed, I'm like, look at all this shit right here. God
She
damn.
said, looking past the mirror. Woo.
Right.
Damn, I'm fine.
Hey, shit.
Word.
Shout outs to Cardi on her
Word. Damn, I'm
nomination.
fine.
She over here
Word.
killing the scene.
That is really good to see, though. I'm
Good for
like,
her.
it's good to see her journey and where she's come from and where she's gone. Like,
You've
I
seen
know,
her
like, I have
outfit?
like problems with the illiteracy and
Me
the
too.
ignorance, you know, and sometimes what she promotes, but I can always still respect like where
We've always had
somebody come
arguments
from.
about
Me
this.
too.
We do.
We have arguments in the
because
club
I
all the
still
time.
have a perspective. Like I understand where people come from, but you don't have to be where you come from.
I agree with you.
You can grow out of that. You can grow from that, and you can change into something else. And sometimes people don't understand the influence
Right.
that they have. So
I'm on both sides of it.
So I love
I
it.
do. I don't like the illiteracy because I feel like as African peoples, we are the seat of knowledge. So there's no reason for us to ever be illiterate.
right,
Okay.
right.
However, knowing what this game is, however you need to get there, do it. Because this shit is
Yeah.
real and it's rough.
That too.
It's
Amen,
rough.
hallelujah.
So, I can't even be mad at her for that.
You're frowning.
But she will be just
I could
like.
be mad at her
well,
for that.
I know.
I don't
Okay,
think that
God
is
bless
business.
you.
Like, I think she really, like, seriously in
Let's
real
hold
life.
each
it
other.
makes me
Thank you.
question.
Like that, 'cause
It makes me question that. I'm not gonna lie. And I think
Some
it's for
people,
business,
they
but I
do it
think
for the
about it.
gram.
I was
but
trying not to
she
sound like
real
an
life
old bitch.
got a
I'm so
problem.
glad you said that, baby. Thank you.
I'm lucky.
Oh my God. Thank
Oh, I'm
you.
done. But then it's like, I'm glad you said that because I didn't want
was
to be the
trying
one
not
to
to be an
say
old bitch.
that she a
As
little
somebody who
slow.
is a poet and who is a lyricist and who takes words very
Right.
seriously, like, what do
We're
you
not
think about
even
that?
throwing any of that into consideration. It's just speaking.
Yeah.
Have you watched her interviews?
Yes.
God.
Girl, why
Yes.
you talk like that?
Yes.
Do you know how many of our people you inspire? Why
I
do
know.
you speak like that?
And it's no need.
Correct your
Especially
shit.
when there's Google and look, hey, there are
And you should be
that
around a
Google,
certain amount of
she
people who are
been here.
like. That's the thing. You are of your environment, but up to a certain point, you're not that environment. Your environment changes.
It may take making more money because let's be honest.
Sometimes it does
we
take making
used
more
to
money.
cringe when Beyonce would speak. It was like, oh fuck, she getting ready to talk. God
Yeah,
damn
she
it,
sounded
God
like
damn
she
it,
was out of
God
a
damn it.
barnyard.
Why
at
are you
one
so
point.
mean?
Because we
You can
all.
see Precenda doing that with Mr.
No, no,
Bailey
no,
on
it
time.
wasn't-
Sounded like she was out of a
No,
barnyard.
it
Bitch, stop
wasn't
the
just
talk.
me. It wasn't just me. Like all black people that could read. When she would get ready to speak, we were like, God damn it, she gonna set us back. Here the fuck we go. Here we go. Okay. Puffy was the same way. You would cringe like he about to set us back.
Nah, he set us back with the nigga.
We
dances.
gonna have to climb out now. We gonna have to climb
Take
out.
that. Can't stop, won't stop.
One-
Oh,
yeah.
oh,
Puffy was the beginning of white people wanting to be cool. He was the beginning of that. So I wasn't mad at that. It was just he was another one when he would speak, for as much as people don't like it, white people still view us a particular way and they can be like trashy all day, but we don't ever have that opportunity. So maybe a little more money. So I'm gonna give her a minute. Now, if we were talking a year from now and that bitch still sound like that, I'ma be where you at. She's still ain't
waiting.
going.
Okay, so we're gonna have this conversation in a year from
She's
now and
still-
talk about how she's
Since
still
we talking
in the
about
same
this,
place.
I got a question because
Okay.
I was getting cursed out all through the gram this weekend about this. Now, me, a lot of people may not know, I went to Kingsborough, right? Shout outs to KVCC. Hi. I went there, studied criminal law, and I also studied fashion merchandising. Now, in the process of me studying fashion merchandising, I learned about the different levels of branding, how you have your purple, your gold, things like that inside of every company, how you got your marketing teams, people that watch the marketing teams, how the designers that have the names really are not the people that come up with the clothing concepts, they just okay them and things like that. So this whole Gucci thing came up this week, right, with the sweater. And for everybody that's not familiar, but I'm pretty sure they are because they have social media, the sweater had a familiar tone of blackface to it. If you don't know what blackface is, that's just when they used to do, when slaves would do theater and things like that in
No, it
white
wasn't
places.
slaves, white people.
Well, I've seen some slaves dressed up in blackface also, but some white people also, since we're gonna go there with that, were dressed up in face of painting black with red lips. They have something called the Balaclava collection.
I seen the sweater. I know exactly.
Yeah,
what
the
you're talking about.
Balaclava collection from Gucci had different colors in it and also had a black sweater. The theme of it was to be covering your face and leave your mouth open with wide frames. There's one hoodie that they had was blue and white that had white rims around the mouth area, and then the controversial one was the black one with the red around the mouth.
That was the only one I seen. That was the only
Yeah,
one.
because that's the only one they're going to show because everybody's going to go crazy about that.
I didn't see the other one.
The
Okay.
So that's what I was saying. Like, so I've had people really come at me on my gram because I said purposely, I do not think the people that ran Gucci said, quote unquote, fuck these niggas. We're going to put this black mouth, red bright sweater out.
That's exactly
I
what they said.
No. I don't think it. I think what it is, honestly speaking, is.
But I have two ideas about it.
I think honestly what it is that they have marketing teams, things like that. I think because a lot of these brands come from foreign countries that were not based in that American culture of blackface, that maybe they did not do historical backgrounds on certain things.
You do know that the major contributors and backers of slavery were the British.
And
so they're like well versed in blackface.
Well, see, but I wasn't even talking about it from that perspective.
Well, I'm just speaking to your point.
I like that,
maybe you think they don't. They fucking know because they try to finance and give arms to the Union soldiers. They were just so fucking stupid that they were walking around looking like the era they came, like looking like the town they came from. That the white people in that town were like, "Where are these motherfuckers? Because y'all don't look right."
Yep.
And that's why we actually ended up winning the war, because the British had given them guns and they just got busted. So the British are well versed in exactly. Do you know they used to walk around with black people on chains like monkeys?
I get the British. I get what you're saying with the British.
Just to finish your point, they're well versed in what the fuck blackface and blackface with red lips. They know.
I get what you're saying as far as the British go, which is why I've seen that they've never really touched that concept on fashion design as far as that goes.
Okay.
I know that Gucci and things like that are based out of Italy and Milan. And yes, they did have slavery back in their days, everything like that. They did have wars with African cultures. Yes, they did. I'm not going to say that they didn't. I just say as far as I don't think those brands being as big as they are and as widely versed they are and as supported as hip-hop culture as they are, American culture, everything like that, they purposely said things like, fuck these niggas, we're going to put these black faces on these outfits. No, because of the fact of this. There's a white sweater that has red lips. There's a black sweater that has red lips. There's a blue sweater that has blue lips. There's one that has white lips, everything like that. I feel like it's just a matter of bad marketing teams, because the people that actually come up with these designs have to go through the marketing process. Once the marketing people get involved, they give the okay. Once all that paperwork is done, it goes back up to the top. As far as fashion industry goes, from what I remember studying, it goes back up to the top, and then they'll give the clearance to say, okay, we're gonna put our name to it now. Right. But it goes through chains of people. Right. I don't think that all these people, all in their minds, say purposely, like the way everybody made it seem, is like they came out in this scene and said, oh no, we're gonna clearly say fuck black people. Yes. That's it, specifically. Fuck the black people. That's the only people we're gonna say fuck. Yes, so we're gonna say fuck the black people. I have to interject
because that's true.
I studied marketing and advertising.
I'm not even talking about marketing. I'm not talking about
I just wanted to say right quick. Financing? I studied marketing and advertising just like you did, but go ahead, Vanessa. I'm curious.
I'm not even talking about marketing and advertising. I'm just talking about history.
Hello.
Like even with Italy being where it is and how a lot of these new brands started there, a lot of them, they made a lot of trips and they fought in a lot of wars with Northern Africa. A lot of different countries like Eritrea, even the city of Carthage, even people who know the story of Hannibal, they understand how those wars were fought and how a lot of people in Italy did steal a lot of the patterns that came out of Africa, a lot of the ways that these people were dressed. So in those terms, they always have tried to steal these things and then mask them of their own, the whole Roman Greco culture. Right now, Gucci, yes, it is popular by hip hop. Every single hip hop artist is wearing it right now. But usually when that happens, that devalues a European brand. When a European brand has a whole bunch of niggas, quote unquote, buying the shit, a lot of the other European brands start to look at that European brand like, oh, that's the nigga brand over there.
And can
so they have to do something in order to show camaraderie with the other brands, and they do stuff like this by putting out those type of stuff to say we still say fuck these niggas.
And may I back you up,
just
Vanessa,
to let y'all know we with y'all
else as well.
We still say fuck these niggas over here.
And let me back you up on something else.
Right.
They're still pissed about Hannibal.
Oh, absolutely.
They still mad about
I get everything that y'all are saying.
He came through.
What do you think?
I even had somebody.
I feel like on the aspect of marketing and networking, it probably was in the end like, okay, yeah, we're publicly gonna say fuck whoever, and we're gonna push this out because why? people still gonna talk about it. Thank you for promoting for me.
Just yeah,
And you're gonna
just
sit
even
here
in the
and talk all the
controversy.
shit you want to, but you still gonna spend your money with me.
Word.
And it might be some people that wasn't interested in buying my shit before that's looking at other shit because you talking shit about this shit.
But
And
if they
now-
discontinue the collection, how does that really help them build? Because they had to end up
discontinued
discontinuing the
Bad
collection.
pieces still exist,
and those pieces
They
are on
didn't
eBay.
fall.
But yes,
Nobody's is pushing them completely off the market. It's gonna say it's not saying Gucci is non-existent now. No, they still got their shit,
Okay.
and people still with that shit. Same thing like with H&M. Everybody
Yeah.
went through their whole shit, going crazy about this hoodie.
and niggas are still in it.
I
Niggas
think
is
the
still
I think the
Can
hoodie
I
was a drag
answer?
out. I think the hoodie
Can
was a
I
drag
answer
out
your
also.
question? Because you wanted to know like what would be the point of it, right? It could be that somebody came up with this and said, "Let's do this," right? By the time like the prototype rolled out, they were like, "Oh shit, oh, but we already made 300,000 of these. What are we gonna do? This is fucked up." They're like, "Well, let's put it out there. It'll cause a controversy, and they can get the write-off." So it's always optics.
Even though they're not agree,
Optics, look at the optics.
How can
of
you still
anything.
win?
And follow the fucking money on anything you ever really want to know. Just follow them dollar signs. Dollars rule, and they always will.
Okay,
because
so-
they know niggas will buy it.
They
I'm
need to
sorry.
sell
So
but
now
they
my
go
question
ahead
is
and-
this.
shit.
This is my
But-
question then. If that be the case, why would they ever take Dapper Dan on the team and allow him to have his own collection in the Gucci brand?
you got to cater to your Negro.
Hello.
You got to give
There's
them
a
butter
whole
biscuits every
Hello.
now and again and make them think that.
Since we had
I
Obama
hate to be
as
like
president,
this. I really do.
so nobody's gonna just not nobody, because Trump is a different retarded ass
Yes,
conversation.
he is.
Yeah, we just can't even
But,
go there. I think we all agree he's
like-
fucking us over.
Yeah.
I
Since
just keep
having
saying
Obama
to
in
DJ,
office,
shout out to
like-
DJ Uncle Tone, sorry, and DJ Damien and DJ Gallo. I'm just saying that if, Trump does go for his inaugural speech in 2020, he does need a DJ, and he calls any of them, and they do decline. I'm wearing all of their shirts at the same time, and I will be performing in places.
You're not gonna be hot
And like you
wearing
said,
all these shirts at the same damn
I
time.
will. I'll wear all the shirts.
Okay, well don't
And
catch
I
these
will,
strokes.
I will be at the inaugural speech.
And I
Right.
learned
As
something
them,
from you.
If they don't want to take the check,
we're
if they
not
don't.
we're not taking this fucking check. We're taking cash. I learned that from you,
Yes,
Vanessa.
we are taking cash. Yes,
Only
I meant
cash.
to say cash. Only
We're
cash
not
from
coming.
Trump.
Checks bounce.
Not
so we don't got
taking
time
any
for
checks
that.
from
Checks
Trump.
bounce.
No checks from you, nigga.
Yeah,
Them
no
checks
nigga.
bounce.
We gonna
We
need
can't do
cash
that.
up front. Absolutely.
But the only
But yeah,
reason why I said
sorry.
that is because I had actually somebody on my post say they make these prices so high that niggas can't afford it and everything like that. I was like, do you really feel these people take the time of their day to say, we don't want specific certain people buying it? I'm like, every brand, you already know this as a marketing person, every brand has a different circuit of label. There's your gold, there's your purples, there's your red, there's your black. They all have different price ranges based on quality, location, demographics, everything like that. The Gucci that we get over here, honestly speaking, is one of the lowest brand Gucci's.
First of all, they don't sell that shit in Italy. That's number
Yeah.
one.
Exactly.
Number
I've been
two,
to Italy and they do not sell
we
it
are
in the
we
local
are the consumers. Let's be honest. Like most white people, like middle America, and even white people that work every day, like here in inner city, Chicago, New York, whatever. They don't spend money like that on clothes the way we do. We are the consumers. They're marketing directly to us. Period. And we feel the way we feel about the way we look because of slavery.
Oh, this segues.
This is what this is about.
It's a perfect segue.
Never ever misunderstand what this is really about, because we were told that we were dirty and that we stank and that we this and that we that. And notice everybody's mama was always intense about the way we looked and the way we smelled, and that we were always greased down. Your hair was always braided to perfection, because it is an offshoot of and I learned just recently that's the reason why most of us can't swim. They were forced that we were not to learn to swim because we could escape.
Oh, shit. Yeah, there's a lot of things they kept away from.
Go back to
I could frog swim.
but that was the reason
But that-
why
at
we were
all.
not
But not with this
introduced to
wig.
water. That's why we weren't introduced to water, because we could escape.
Oh, man.
So
But
segue.
no, that segues into what I was thinking about, though, because we're talking about marketing in a sense, and I feel like sometimes even in relationships, people do market themselves. Like, do you think?
Oh yeah,
that,
you can't get all this crazy on the first date. You gotta get the crazy on the fifth or the
But
sixth
is
date.
initiation a part of marketing?
Yes.
And if so, how?
I'm gonna let y'all talk first.
It kind of shows who's in control as far as the initiation goes, because you have your aggressor and you have like your subordinate. So it kind of shows who's taking charge. When I like, all right, for instance, for me, I have a thing where if a guy don't do certain things for me, I feel like I don't want to say it just like this, but it's just gonna have to come out like this.
Say it.
It's gonna come out like this. I feel like you're a pussy on certain things, or he's not gentleman-like, or he ain't have no kind of home training at all.
Okay.
If I'm out with you and you don't open my doors, I'm gonna sit in this car so you open these doors. And if you walk down the block, nigga, I just may, one, try to swerve your car, even though I can't drive, or two, I'm gonna just call the next nigga to come get me because obviously you ain't got no fucking respect and you don't know what to do. Or if you don't hold the door. Or sometimes even if I'm out to eat, I remember like one of my first dates with my last boyfriend, whatever it is, I was like, no, you order. I always tell niggas when they come into dates, I want to see what you're going to do. I want to see what your creative standpoint is. I want to see what kind of control you have, what kind of mindset you have.
Right.
Because how you initiate this shows me if I need to bother with you or not. And the problem with a lot of dudes is that it just ends up, I don't need to be bothering with you, period, point blank. But it's a good way for me not to waste my time. When you come to me, like if you tell me something like, oh, we're gonna go to a museum and go on a date because I know I've seen your creative side on your page, I see that you like certain things, whatever it is, or let's go to a fashion show, I'll be like, oh wow, he really pays attention to me. If you tell me some shit like, oh, I got a show performance and I'm hosting at the club, I'm like, this nigga here. You don't think I get tired of this shit? Did you not listen to the conversations where I say sometimes I get tired of hearing the same shit over and over? And what you want to do? Take me to the club to watch you do what? Do the same shit over and over and over. And you're not even paying me to be here. So you want me to come do what I get paid for free to see if you're going to be a good match for me?
I would love to know what he would have to say about it.
Me too.
Let's not do that because somebody asked me to come
He
out
could
the other
probably
day
be
to
like,
their
yo,
show. And I was
I
like, we
invited
kind
her
of cute.
to the club. I don't know
Kinda
what
cute.
happened. She
That's
didn't
what
want to
happened.
come with me. Like, I was trying to talk to her, but she would. Happy birthday, bottle!
Happy birthday to
Bottle
Precenda
man.
and Bottles. He just left out.
Yeah. But yeah. No, so sometimes, like, I feel like when it comes to initiating and, like, doing those types of things in relationships, I don't know if marketing and initiating is technically, like, the same thing. I kind of, like, I feel like it's similar, but it's kind of still separate at the same time. When it comes to marketing, I feel like you're just, you know, you're presenting yourself. You're showcasing an image. And I feel like when it comes to initiating, you might be already in. You might be already involved or intertwined with this person.
Well, what
in
do
some
you
kind of
think?
way.
Because I'm not coming on a date.
Because I feel like
with my
marketing
wig
would be
snatched
like,
off.
I'm on a date. This is we're still courting. And I feel like initiation would be like, I'm leaning over to pull your pants down. Like,
Right. Oh shit.
See, she went to the third date already. I'm still on the walking in the club.
That might be the terrible.
Because when I leave my house, I have to be put together. Because one, I don't know who I'm gonna see, and then I don't know what kind of thing I'm giving off to you.
What do you think, Samara?
I think initiation comes from how whosoever approaches the other party. That's your initiation right there. Because if you come walking up to me, male or female, I don't care. Everybody knows I swim on both sides of the water.
Yes. What did you call it last time? Not polygamy, but what is it called?
Polyamorous. I love that word. That's the sexiest word.
Yes.
It's like, if you come to me and you trying to hit me with some cheesy ass fucking pickup line, then please go to your mother's house.
I don't think any woman likes that.
Not even your daddy house. Go to your mother's house.
Right. Because, watch, no shade to men, no shade to fathers who've been involved, but the mothers are who instill that piece of morality and that still of respect. Like, you're getting that shit from mom. Because even if you don't respect no fucking body, you respect mom.
Right.
She might get on your goddamn nerves. You might want to pull her hair out. You might want to pull your hair out.
But you won't.
But you still respect mom. Especially if you come from within our culture.
Right.
You're not going to try that shit.
Because you're going to be outside with a black eye.
Afraid of mom.
But I do think, though, that, you know, you learn how to... I watch my sister with my nephews. And we had this discussion. You know, the first thing she said was, well, you know, because my nephews are very handsome, all three of them. And she was like, you know, with these hoes. And I said, wait, slow your roll. Because if he come home with a hoe, he like hoes. We gonna have to welcome that bitch.
We have to filter
We gonna have to welcome this bitch.
We don't gotta welcome her nothing.
Yes, the fuck we do.
She get to the door, hey, sit down.
No.
And we gonna watch how you talk and how you act. And you do too much, you gotta go the fuck back to your house, or your mama house, or your daddy house, or your pimp house.
And you wanna know what? And you wanna know why? Because that's how come men act like fucking boys. That's why they act like boys.
Okay.
If my nephews roll up with a hoe, nigga, you like hoes. Would you like something to drink? In my mind, I'm thinking, you little hoe, but let's just do this.
Let's get you something.
I'm thinking that hoe still. Get the glass, get the plastic
this
cups.
Is what the fuck he likes.
We just going
Then he has not been paying attention to the women in the family.
Unless the family is hoes.
We're not.
But I'm be quiet.
We're not. But my point is,
Some of these
if
families
this
got
is
hoes.
what he likes, right? I'm not gonna disrespect you. The one that brought this bitch here. She didn't roll up.
Right. It's not her fault.
She did not roll up.
Right.
She didn't just show up out of the blue. So and when she thought, and we always discuss things very analytically, and she was like, you know what? You have a really good point. We gonna be as nice to that bitch as we can because this is what the fuck you rolled in with, right?
This is
now,
what we gonna deal with.
For initiation, I think it has everything to do with what do you like, right? I like a man's man.
Right.
Right?
I need you to stand strong.
If you're not like
the leader,
if you're not the leader on this, guess what?
follow the leader.
I'm not having sex with you because I don't feel any like sexual energy from you. Like I need a man's man. I need a man's man. How's this gonna go?
Right.
You know,
Direct.
And we're not, because there's a difference between like, you know, how you act on a date and like, you know, open the door and do all of that. Like I'm not gonna pick anybody that doesn't do that. So I don't even need to have that discussion.
Exactly.
Because I'm not even gonna be turned on by you if you don't operate that way anyway. Like I'm already dry as fuck just even thinking that like you like I can't. So
She said my pussy been dry from the door.
From the door.
That I'm inside
From
of.
the door.
The door that you did not
I
visit.
have a
Drop.
different view about those.
So, but if you, but I like
you
a
didn't
man's
open.
man.
Yes.
Like you need to initiate, cause this is what like men do.
Yes.
And since I'm a straight girl, this is what I'm looking for. So if you don't know how to initiate, then that ain't gonna make me do what I do best.
Yes.
And nigga, that's what you really.
Oh shit! Okay. Put a gunshot. Cause the shit working today.
I don't know. Check.
That's
No.
what you really want.
That-
You want me at my best. You feel what I'm saying, pussy.
Oh my god.
You want the best work that you can get out of this employee,
But there's
okay?
situations where females where we are initiating things. So what is the best way that we could
I flirt.
initiate stuff?
I
Like,
flirt. That's how
Straight
I
up
initiate.
and down, straightforward. Put it on the table. This is what it is. This is what I
Yes.
want. This is what we're gonna do. And if you can do this, great. We're about
Yes.
to have a good time. And if you can't, go long, go to yourself.
Wait, is this about the pussy? Because I feel like this is the pussy talk.
This
This is the talk about when you have to get the pussy or you think you gonna get the pussy.
No.
You know what? I think
Because
all
this
of you are
table
right.
talk,
That's just
that table
period.
talk can't happen when you walking up and getting a drink at the bar. Cause he gonna be like,
That's
this bitch
just
really just gave us a
period.
whole relationship.
But I think you're both. I think you're both
and broke
right.
up with me and everything, and I don't even know this bitch name.
watch.
Like
I
I,
think
tell
you're
girls
both
all the time. Honestly speaking, I tell girls all the time when it comes to DMs and shit like that, and I noticed it because my cousins will talk to me, my other homeboys talk to me. Girls get this whole relationship in their head when a nigga send a heart in the DM.
And we just
like,
said
all right,
hello.
bitch, all he did was just send a heart. He's not saying I want to marry you. He ain't say I want to meet your kids. I don't want to meet your family. He ain't say shit like that. He just said
He didn't
hearts
even say
on your
let's
pic-
go on a date.
He said hearts on the
heart.
picture.
Right.
He didn't even say shit. He tapped the little heart in the DM picture, or he put an extra like on top of your picture,
And I've
and
done
that's what he
that
did.
by
The bitch done
accident.
got married, had kids, met the family, went to the family
Yeah,
reunion,
women
everything like
to
that.
jump to a
But
lot
I
of
think you're both
shit
right.
in their head.
But that's what you
I'm saying
can't
as
do
far as
on
initiation
initiation.
with women, we're not even talking about on a sexual level. I'm talking about on approach.
That's what
If
I'm saying.
out, like I'm not the type of person that likes to go out in clubs and in lounges and shit like that often. Like
I'm
I'm
working
be in
on
my
that.
house, right?
I'm working
But
on
if I'm outside and I'm posted up at somebody's
ain't there
bar
either,
or
but
whatever
that's
the hell it
accepted.
may
I'm working
be,
on it.
and
I think I have
I
a little
see
bit to do with
somebody,
that.
I think I might have eyes for you or whatever the fuck. I'm not gonna wait for you to come over and say some shit or do some cliche movie bullshit and
Right,
send me
yeah,
a drink
no.
and fucking wink. No, I'm gonna walk my ass right up to you. You're gonna hear what it is I have to say, what it is I'm thinking, how I think you look, what I may or may not want to do, and that's just it. Why? Because we cannot expect men to always put the foot forward.
This is true.
They wouldn't have a foot to put forward if not for being a woman anyway. So you cannot just expect all the time for them to just
Come through,
pop up like, hey,
sister.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this just because
Men are
you're the
stupid.
female in the
But yeah.
situation.
Now,
Damn,
do y'all want to hear
no.
what's really
Wait, so I'm
up?
clapping, you doing
But
jazz
Do y'all want to hear what's really up?
You
Men
doing
are
jazz
stupid.
snaps? I'm doing
Do
claps,
y'all
you
want to
doing
hear
snaps?
what's really
I
up?
want to hear.
Y'all want to hear what's real?
Yes.
Okay. You are right because you're coming from a sort of, in a sense, a polyamorous because you live however you want to live, which is good.
True.
And you
up
should.
and down as a
And I
woman,
appreciate
not
that.
anything
You're
to do with my
right.
sexuality.
Now,
Like what you're just expecting.
But for the dicks
and
only.
you're right.
I
But
understand
for
The dicks
straight
only.
women, one, y'all need to learn how to flirt, and you don't know how.
Exactly
Y'all
my
are fucking
point.
awful at it.
I'm terrible.
Hey, big
Because
head
there
don't
is
work.
no, that
Not
don't.
today, Satan. Not today.
For some dudes,
keep your
some
big head to
dudes, it
yourself.
Some dudes, the hey big head is okay.
You know,
for some
for some
dudes.
I'm talking about for women.
I could give you-
women expect dudes to hey big head and what's up stranger and all
Oh
that
no,
other
I'm
shit.
gonna
They
tell you
all
to be a
got some
stranger.
ridiculous
I'm gonna
thing.
tell you to be a
Don't talk to me
stranger
like
because
that.
I didn't know you
But
from the get go, so you still a
I'm just
stranger.
gonna tell y'all what's
Stranger
real.
danger, stranger danger.
I'm trying to stay off Discovery ID, please. But there is a way that you can flirt with a man if you want a result from it. And
Right.
that you all have not learned how
Yeah,
to
and
do.
I'm not flirting to
Hey,
not have
I
results.
learned.
So I said
I
I'm
didn't say you
gonna
didn't.
wait.
I said that is.
you a
I
wrong.
agree with you on that
You
because
know
I
why?
have been flirting wrong, and I said to myself, I'm not going to continue to do this
Wait,
if there
I've
are
never
not
seen you
going to
flirt.
be
And
results.
Wait,
you know
so
how
hold
I
on.
know
How do you
because
flirt?
Long
I
time
have.
ago.
You can't. You
Oh,
can't.
Right, that's
Okay,
a
I
great
never seen you
question.
flirt.
What do you want me to act this out? That's
No,
not
I
gonna
was gonna say I haven't ever seen you flirt, so I just
I'm
want to know what
talking about
conversation
probably
goes
happen. Because
like.
I won't be
Question in
flirting to you.
itself.
I will
Right.
be flirting
You-
towards
it's
How
not
do you
something-
flirt is a great question to
not-
ask because women have a tendency of flirting and their flirting is just
throwing the
putting their
pussy.
pussy on the table.
Hello.
No,
My
No,
baby.
flirting.
that's the first
Hold
thing
on,
they
I'll give you a
show,
perfect
yeah.
example. I went to AC.
But let me finish
Okay,
my
go ahead,
thought
go ahead,
first.
go ahead.
Most of you are flirting wrong, like way wrong. The art of flirting is to get the man that you're interested in across the room to be interested in you. You are 100% right. I watch these bitches, and I mean that in the loveliest way.
These bitches
I
in the
watch
nicest way
these
possible.
bitches put their pussy right on the table.
Yep.
And let me tell
Here
you
you go.
something. When it comes to men,
It's a
that's
bargaining
the last
chip.
thing that you should know. It ain't a bargain.
It's not.
What I am conveying to you is, one, get over here. Two, get over here now.
You need this.
Three, if not you, someone else.
Amen.
Okay? And all of that can be conveyed with one look. However, with all that said, you still have to remain a lady. Close your legs, keep your pussy off the platform. Because, to be honest with you,
Oh, it snaps.
a man
My
does
bad.
not
I'm
want
clapping in the church right now. I'm sorry.
a man does not want a woman that doesn't know how to act like a lady.
Yes, Sister Bracinda,
And
please.
Doesn't want to keep.
I'm
You gotta
fit-
throw
I'm a
that
fit-
in there.
you're right.
Doesn't want to keep because all men want a woman that's not gonna act like a lady.
Right.
Every man in this world
Oh, yeah,
loves
'cause
nasty
we-
pussy, but he's
And
not gonna keep.
They
you.
like the
And I'm gonna
duality.
tell y'all the last dirty secret. No man wants a woman that he wants to keep that makes the first move.
That's a fact. Because he'll feel like he
think
won't feel like a
about that
man.
too.
Not a fact.
He may not
When
feel like
I
a
don't
man.
know though. I
Like I'm
don't
gonna tell you my
know.
flirtation, how I did it this week in Atlantic City. Shout out to Harrah's Resort. I was feeling that. So I went to the pool party, right? And I'm over there, and I go to the bar. A nigga bought me and my cousin a drink, right? Like, all right, cool, whatever. He bought me and my cousin a drink. It was cool. I went over there. I had the Hennessy in the cup, straight honey. I went back. He was looking at me the whole time. I was over there. I was like, hey, can I get some pineapple juice? He was like, all right, sweetie, no problem. He's like, here you go. He's like, that's good for you. I was like, yeah, that's fine for me. He's like, oh, so who you here with? Bam, that was it right there. Pineapple juice. Simple as that.
He said,
I got
who-
that
so
number.
So he asked you or you asked him?
He asked me who I, like, he was like, oh, I see you out here, whatever, you partying, like, who you came with. I was like, oh, it's my cousin's birthday. Like, you know, we out here just chilling, whatever. He's like, oh, all right. He's like, what you doing in your outfit? You look real nice. Bam, that's it. Simple as pineapple juice. Got the nigga number and everything. He live in Philly. He talking about taking me to Philly. I
What
was
do you
like, I'm
think,
good.
Vanessa?
Pineapple
I don't
juice.
know. For me, when it comes to those types of situations, I like a man, like you said, to be a manly man. I like a man to be directive. Like for me, I don't approach men.
Me either.
But
Like,
you don't
for
give
me,
eyes or anything? You don't do like the little slick side eye?
I don't really do
the look
eyes.
up
I
one
do
time,
proximity
nothing?
though. I definitely do proximity. I might be in the same room with someone. I might
too.
adjust myself to be closer to them.
I would think
and-
you would have to be in the same
and-
room as the person.
I mean,
to flirt. Because
not
they ain't gonna see you through the
necessarily.
wall.
I mean,
Well, no.
Unless
People
you
could live
texting
in a
and
social
DMing.
media
that's what I'm saying. We live in a social
That's
media
why I
world. You
said,
can
unless you
never
texting
see
and
somebody,
DMing.
and sometimes people could consider that flirting. Like sometimes, even now, you don't even realize you could be flirting when you are.
Them damn
you
emojis.
Send I was about to say,
Them
you
fucking
send the wrong
emojis.
fucking emoji, you will be flirting with somebody. But for me, I like a guy who's the initiator. I like a guy who's direct. That's just me. I'm a heterosexual female. I
Me
do have
too.
scenes with girls. I do have a new scene that's coming out. But yes, I've never ate pussy.
RatchetBJs.com. In case y'all didn't know, you gotta
men
subscribe. You
are
can't get it for
But
free.
anywho,
Subscribe.
outside of that
Right.
outside of that though, for me, I like to see a guy who's direct. So even in the situations for me, I consider myself flirting if I have a conversation sometimes with the guy.
Right.
For me, like, and it's sometimes people could consider it as like not flirting, just having a conversation, but no, a
What do you talk
conversation
about?
could be
Well,
flirting.
because that is flirty, and here's
Because
why.
you're
But what do you talk about?
Sometimes you're still entertaining.
I don't
somebody.
think that's flirty.
And then you could be talking
because
about
that
anything.
Look,
Can I tell
if-
you why
if
that
we're
is
sitting in
flirty?
the-
Here's why
two
that is.
seconds.
It's
Go ahead, Fred,
intriguing.
You're right.
If you're
You're right.
sitting in the room, right? If we step outside of here, there's 5 men outside. Men that you are not at all in the least bit interested in.
And that's
True.
always
You
the
go up to him
problem.
and you say, hey,
True.
it's gonna rain tomorrow. Do you like the rain? That's just a conversation about a conversation. But
Not how
when
you
go
said
in there,
it,
you see.
because I would have been thinking like, oh, you like the
But-
rain.
No.
Oh,
But what?
it never
If it's a
rains
man,
in
like,
Southern
you interested in this man,
California.
you're not the type to approach men generally, so your conversation is just conversation, but in your mind it's flirting. But actually, you're still going up to this man.
He could
like,
be perceiving
hey,
it as just conversation.
It's gonna
That's what
rain.
you're saying, that.
Do you like the rain? It's
Yeah.
like it's
He was like, oh,
that's
she wanna
initiation.
rain on his
But I
dick.
still feel
That
like
is
it's
initiation.
But those
That's not
conversations,
right.
I feel like that opens the window for women, not only women but men, to also be able to assess the situation,
Yeah.
assess the person who they're talking to, assess what kind of vibes they're giving off, and what kind of connection is being
But
created.
sometimes we
and then you
assess
move
wrong.
forward from there.
But
the
assess
reason
wrong
why-
sometimes on both
The reason
sexes.
why I said she's right is because there are some men who are more cerebral, and
They wanna be
the
dominant.
actual act of conversation is the thing that turns them on.
I've heard
'Cause
many
just
men
like
said that.
there are things
Just
that
conversation.
because there are just like there are things that turn us on. There are things that turn men on. Like there's some men you can blow their mind with just conversation.
Some men
But what
love
I meant-
conversation.
What
They
I
do.
meant by like being flirty, most women need to learn. And this has nothing to do with age, because I've seen like some 40-something-year-old bitches. I'm like, you are fucking this game up so badly that I'm ashamed, right? You need to learn. There's certain
birthday behavior. You cannot stop.
Yeah,
there's a
absolutely,
lot.
Clifford.
There's a lot to be said for aura. I'm gonna use going to see Precious J, right? All I did was walk in the room.
She
Oh
just
yeah,
walked in a room.
this
she
nigga
had
was like, "You
bottle.
want a bottle of Hennessy? You want some champagne?" I was like, "Well, what the fuck?
But,
You know
what
that?"
I didn't never met that man before. I was in the room for 5 minutes. I damn near didn't. I didn't even have my coat off really yet.
He was gonna give her.
You know what it is? It's that
if
grind
he
that
needed to
you
give
do.
her his kidney at that point in time,
He was gonna
he
give
would
her
have
kidney.
paid
No, you know what it
her
is?
his kidney.
Because when Precenda walked in,
And
she
paid
started
for
doing this.
No, I didn't even do that night.
On the walk-in.
I didn't do none of that.
She just came in and he was about to give up his kidney.
As soon as I got
He was
in
gonna
the
cut
door,
his back open and give up his
he,
kidney on the damn
he
side.
introduced himself.
Energy.
Yeah, what you
introduced
give,
himself.
what you give off yourself.
That's
right.
what I mean by you need to learn aura. Some women need to learn aura, and they can't even like be pointing at like. Okay, I don't even like the word millennial. I told you I've got to find another word. I got.
Yeah, I can't believe I'm a millennial. I found this out a couple weeks ago.
Because when
I
you
am.
hear people who are a certain age say millennial, they're really meaning it as an insult.
I'm a 90s.
It's from
baby.
1980.
See,
Anybody from
I'm a
1987 and on is a millennial. Sorry, you guys.
Well, I just
I'm a
wanna
90s
say
baby. I ain't no
something to
damn
these
millennial.
old dames
87
that like to
and on.
pop a lot of shit. I seen y'all be way less than smart as well. So y'all can stop like pointing at younger women saying blah blah blah, because at least if you are younger, you're still learning how to
I'll
do
take your
particular-
man.
versus you
So,
who should have figured it
when
out. by
I,
now.
yo, bitch.
Like the City Girls song
Bitch.
said, and the one before that.
So
I'll take
you know,
your man.
learn aura, learn what your
67.
aura is, and everybody's
Yeah.
aura
You
is
just made it.
different.
Yeah.
Everybody's aura is different.
made it.
I
So
think I just
actually,
learned it.
all of you are right.
Yeah, a different
Your
form.
way works for you because you're right.
But my question is
And
this,
I'm not
y'all.
opposed to that either, because see, for like every female, I feel like they initiate things in some kind of way, shape, or form. Maybe not
Yeah.
as direct as physically walking up to a dude, but then they're like, even for me, I'll position myself next to somebody who I think looks decent.
Well, yeah, the reason why
like, it's a different
we're
way of
always
doing it.
initiating is because it's all in, like, we're going to make the decision.
and we still
and
initiating.
They know it.
Yeah, right.
They know that the
Those
decision
moves
is
that
up
are
for
my
made
them.
question
by
is
the
this,
women
though.
though, are those ever moves that are made with any type of consideration on what that guy might be into? Because whereas there is a very, very big majority of guys that
Thank you.
would like to be the aggressor in the situation, there's still that big amount of guys that don't like.
I think it's a trial and error sometimes. It's a trial and
There are
error.
those guys that
I think
really
that
like to have an aggressive female in
I
their
think
life.
you.
They
Yeah, I
like
think you
somebody
usually.
that's-
It's a trial and
back me up
error
on
for
this.
me. It's like a trial and error for me.
I think the same thing. I think it's you are sending energy to what you're attracted to anyway. Like there's a certain type of man that I'm attracted to.
Yes.
And so I'm probably sending out like
Precenda,
signals
what
to
is
him.
that man,
Yeah.
by the way? Listeners
He
just want to
is-
know. Who is that
Oh.
man?
Ooh.
We never got into them details. Who is that man?
Well, it used to be
To
like
this day.
only dark skinned men, but now like I'm open.
I'm team dark
But-
skin.
Yes, me too.
But
only-
I
I'm
won't be
open-minded,
attracted to
though.
a man that's not well groomed to the teeth. Like I need you well groomed. Like you need to be like, you know, creamy. You need to smell good. You know, you need to like your nails need to be clean.
Yes.
You know, I don't care what kind of footwear, but
You
that,
need to
that
smell
footwear
good.
got to be clean. Like
feel you.
dirty sneakers are fucking turned off because I'm like I can't.
I could deal with dirty sneakers, but you gotta.
I
smell
can't because that just
I can't
tells
do
me
dirty sneakers.
too much about like how much you don't care.
Like if you just got up for work and you got dirty sneakers.
No, we talk because
my dad- I'm not gonna hold you, 'cause my
I'm not mad
dad-
at that.
I can tolerate
But I'm
that.
talking about like if I see you on Saturday morning,
Right. Oh.
and you ain't.
Oh, we
at
supposed to go somewhere?
fucking work.
Yeah. And we supposed to go
No.
somewhere?
You know
what it is
you
for
got
me
dirty
too?
sneakers on?
No.
Yeah.
Now my next
Yeah, we
question is
deep
this
in. We
also:
ready.
where do you pick up the flirtations from? Like who trained you? Because honestly speaking, I don't think it was per se I
Right.
was trained. It was just like I would see how my males and my lives moved with certain females and how they would react. I would look at social media as far as like TV and stuff like that because we didn't have no Instagram, nothing like that.
Right.
Then as time got along, got to the IG pages, everything like that, MySpace, Go Next, all that shit like that. Paid attention to those kind of things. Paid attention to the popular girls in my schools that got the boys' attention,
That's a
things
good
like
question.
that. So where do you really pick it up from?
Right. How
Because
did
I
you
picked it up
learn
from
how
more
to
so
be-
my
I'll-
environment, and
I'll
then
tell
from
you
there,
how I
my
learned.
mindset and my environment taught me how to like throw it without actually throwing it.
I
I'll
like that
tell
to
you
be a
how I
round table
learned.
discussion. I want everybody's answer.
I'll tell you how I learned. Now, Southern women are the queen of flirtation, and they don't just flirt; they bag it.
Oh yeah.
And they bag it every
yeah.
single fucking time.
Yeah.
Yes,
it
they
is
do.
not a game.
With a nice cup of iced tea.
You know what I mean? Like,
Hello.
so I watched the women in my family, like how they would do. But one thing I noticed, and I had this conversation with my cousin because she's like in your age group, like, you know. And I was like, did you notice something about the women in our family? I was like, can you ever think of a time where you heard them say anything negative about the way they look? Because everybody looks different. And she was like, you know, I never thought about it, but no. Like I never heard the women in my family say, oh, I'm too short, I'm too black, I'm too fat. Like I never heard conversations like this. Usually I would see them standing in the mirror like, yes. And you
Walking
see
past
what-
the mirror. Woo!
About to go to church.
Damn, I'm fine.
About to go to church with all of this right
Praise
here.
him.
Like, you know.
You look
so we would
blessed.
see
You
a
look
lot of that
good.
like, oh, okay, you know. And then my mother was what you call the typical Southern beauty queen. And Sally was gonna make it happen. Like,
Shout out
I'd
to
say
Sister
this,
Sally. Shout out
you
to
know,
Sister Sally.
I never saw my mother wait for a street light. I'll just put it to you that way.
Hello.
So-
Trying to tell you.
So that's what I mean by aura. I learned aura from watching my mother and the women in my family, like how they would do, and the fact that they never said negative shit about themselves. So I never grew up feeling a negative way about anything about me. So
That's good.
that's
when
what
you
I
think
mean
about
by
it.
like
it's like
yeah,
that confidence,
You
that
don't see that
self-confidence,
a
so you
lot
give
because
it
I
out.
hear this in other families, and I'm like, really? Like y'all
You know what?
like,
You're right about
I
that.
never heard that in my family, like ever.
Because dudes will always tell me like, "Oh, you're fire as fuck. You look mad good." And I'd be like, "I'm just regular. Like, I don't look at myself as being on a pedestal like that bad bitch, that bitch that has together."
Oh, I
like
am
that,
on
whatever
a
you wanna call
pedestal
it.
now. Don't
But
fuck around. Yes, I am.
What it is for me is like personally,
Oh.
as far as those descriptions go in my head, that's not what it is for me. That's not what being like a real woman in my mindset is for me, because that's not the women that was around me. I never heard them call themselves bad bitches and everything like that. It would be like, yo, she's a different type of female. Like I would hear that, and that would be the description I would always get. So I think that's where my mindset went with it, is like, I can't be like every other what every other female's trying to aspire to be like. I gotta be like me and a different version of me. I just can't be like her.
What do you think, Vanessa?
About what?
Like, what did you feel like? You know, like
Who taught you?
who
Yeah,
taught
where'd you get it
you?
from? Because you got these little classy
I have some
house on the
terrible-
prairie pearls, and I just want to know
have
who
some
taught
terrible
you
but
these things.
great influences at the same time. I came from a lot of women who, I guess I could say, it's just, I have a lot of different women. I have a great grandmother who speaks so soft and she's super sweet. And then I have her daughter, which is my grandmother, who's
Beat
very
beat
harsh.
your ass.
And she will beat your ass
Tear
on
you
sight
up.
in Flatbush. If she see you, she'll meet you on the street.
So with gunshots, booyaka, booyaka. All right.
And then I have a mother who's, she, is, I guess, I always call her like the peaceful lady. She's, out and about, living her best life, very spontaneous and stuff. So for me, I feel like I've been composed of all of these women in some way, shape, or form in my life. And for me, I feel like it's sometimes hard to be composed of these things because, especially even for now, a lot of young women growing up, we have a lot of the qualities from our mothers. We have a lot of the qualities from our aunts and other people in our family, but they lived during a different time and they operated during a different time. So a lot of those qualities and stuff don't receive the same results or attention now. Sure. So it's like, okay, yeah, they did live a different life and a lot of things that they did work for them, but we can't necessarily do the exact same things and have it work for us in this generation. So it's like I do cherish a lot of the ways that they operate and how they used to go after men and stuff like that.
You really don't think it still work? Like
I can't
like,
say that
I
it
look
don't
at
work,
somebody-
but I'm
gonna
just saying
use-
it's different.
I get
I'm
what
gonna
she's
use
saying,
her
like to a
for
certain
example.
degree.
I'm going to use you for example.
Yeah.
Somewhere, somebody, because aside from our mothers, and things like
yeah.
that, women that we, meet out in the world, we go like, yeah, I want to be confident like that. Like educationally,
Right.
It was like my third grade teacher. I wanted to be confident like her educationally because she knew she was like fucking brilliant, like, and forced us to be the same way. I'm like, bitch, I don't know what flatulence means. I'm in the third fucking grade. She was like, look it up.
Right. Yeah.
Like a demand that you fucking better pull your shit
you should
together.
know this.
No one cares.
Yeah.
So that was another. So somewhere somebody taught you supreme confidence because you make no apologies for who you are as a woman.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
So somebody showed you something.
Somebody's.
Somebody.
Somebody.
Right?
Say that, sis. Somebody.
Somebody.
Say that, sis.
So
Yes.
I have a very small yet big lineup that consists mostly of women.
Okay.
It starts with my great great grandmother, who I had in my life until I was 14 years old.
That's a blessing.
She's over 100 years older than I was. So just having her in her everything, like running around. My aunts used to live in still does, in Brookline in Canarsie. Running up over there. You step in front of somebody and say, I'm Bessie Sims' granddaughter, bitch, that mean a whole hell of a lot than what that
Because they ain't
sentence
fucking with Miss
just was.
Betsy.
Hell no. Or you turn around and say, I'm a Clark kid.
Yeah.
Those names mean something.
The Clarks around there you don't fuck with. See, my direct lineup is my great great grandmother, then my great, then my grandmother, then my mother, then me, and we're all firstborns.
Oh wow.
That's a whole nother piece that falls into it. Being a firstborn child, being a firstborn
Yeah.
female,
Firstborn.
whole different type of energy.
Grand.
Facts.
But with that aspect, all of these women in my life, between my mom, my aunts, and when I say aunts, I mean great aunts.
Yeah.
My grandmother's sister,
Yeah.
she's one of 8.
Yeah.
So they're all married.
Wow.
They good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like, good. That's what I grew up watching.
Gotcha.
I do have, and I have 2 that they're not married, but you know what? They're living there
Best life.
with rainbows and Skittles and
All
everything
right,
else.
shit.
And I grew up watching that too. And I guess you can say all of those little pieces of the puzzle all ended up formulating
Yeah.
the me that you see now.
Exactly.
Because even with everything that was happening, a bunch of women being around each other, there's a lot of shit. And in our family, we had a lot of shit. But at the end of the day, once that door closed and we outside, it's straight backs. And
Yep, exactly.
That's what I was
you
taught, too.
better not dare cross this line.
Absolutely. But I
But
want
you ain't really trying to fuck with nobody
And
named
once-
Bessie.
Nah, because Betsy looked like
Betsy
she was,
came from a different time.
Betsy was
Okay?
whipping people's asses back in the
with
day.
kids,
certain,
with
like,
sticks, with
there's
the
certain
whole
names.
door.
Yeah,
It was
exactly.
Bessie, Bertha, Margaret,
Mary.
Right.
Mary's one of them. Yeah, Mary. Don't fuck with Mary.
It's always a Lisa. My
And
mother
an
was a
odd
Lisa.
name Yvonne.
Ooh,
The odd name Yvonne
Vaughn, don't do it.
was already. She was
She was
already
stoic.
here for you.
Like
Like
my lineup was Bessie, Mary, Rosemary.
See, didn't I tell you it was always a Mary or a
Nicole,
Lisa
and
in them?
then-
You did say that.
Always a Mary or a Lisa.
But what's your advice for the people out there? You know that we have a lot of people listening, and a lot of people might be thinking that they might want to initiate something, male or female. Like,
Be
what
your
should be the
unfiltered
advice
self.
for these people?
Be your unfiltered self.
Well, I would
Stop
just say
thinking
this.
about what the fuck people are gonna turn around and think about or judge you on if you decide. Who the fuck cares? At the end of the day, when you wake up in the next morning, you're gonna be thinking about the bitch or the nigga that was outside talking shit about you. No, you're gonna get the fuck up and do what you have to do for you. So stop
Exactly.
focusing on people because people don't really matter.
I like that.
You gotta love yourself. When
Yes.
you love yourself, shit just runs smooth.
I like that.
I feel we on two different wavelengths. You keep snapping, I'm clapping. I just
I kind of like.
she in a jazz club. I'm on Sunday morning like hallelujah.
Oh shit!
Let them use you. Let them use you.
You said she
Amen.
in the jazz
Speaking
club
of
and
snap,
she over
I'm
here.
getting my phone.
Oh yes, we have to have you spit a little something before you go and tell us
Oh,
about
yes.
the
V is
event
for
that's coming up.
vagina.
All right, so here's my
But
advice.
yes, what
while we wait
what's your
for
advice for the
poet.
people?
I would say this, as women, please don't expect that men have all the answers. I put this out there to
Because
women.
they're stupid.
Yes.
God, all of them. Can you return it? Look at her and say that.
This nigga said,
No, just
neighbor,
say it.
say neighbor, these men is stupid.
Okay.
All right.
But don't think that just because it is mostly incumbent upon them to make the first move, don't think that all men are good with that. Because if we had to be the one to solely be the one to make a lot of
not gonna be
us
happy with it.
never would.
Not be happy
You're not the type, Vanessa, and
I
neither
won't be happy
am
with
I.
it. I'd be thinking
and
about
I
that
would
first
not be
move.
happy
That's
with
just
that
me.
either. So, if there's a man that you're interested in, figure out a way,
Barbara
to
Shotzi.
telegraph it, because not all men are comfortable with the fact that they have to come over and be the one. Like, if we had to do all the shit that they have to do, this would be a whole other different world we'd be living in.
Yep.
The Amazonian women, not
So-
a different world. They just be living over there. with
Well,
them.
yeah, true. But,
out
so
to
that
Barbara.
is my advice.
See,
so,
look what I said. Men is idiots.
See,
Look at the
Barbara
door.
talk,
Look at the
right.
door. Like I said. Monkeys on the tree. Look at this. Monkeys on a damn tree.
It's a whole bunch of them out there.
Right,
Monkeys
a whole
on a
bunch of-
goddamn fence.
Whole bunch of them. out
Stop
there.
feeding these monkeys. They're gonna stay on your fence,
feed
girl.
them, they
That's what
never
Medea
leave.
said. They're gonna stay on your fence.
What's your advice? What's your advice, Sola, for the people? before
Yeah,
you go?
I
what
really
should we
feel
do?
like when it comes down to the flirtatious nature of females and men, it's always something that you have that maybe another female doesn't have that you have to tune into, which will make your